A new poll from the University of North Florida is revealing who registered Republicans say they would vote for should former President Donald Trump face Governor Ron DeSantis in a hypothetical presidential run. We do want to note the governor has not announced a presidential run, not as of this morning. When given a list of 10 possible candidates, 52% of voters indicated a vote for Ron DeSantis, followed by 27% for Donald Trump. Nikki Haley came in a very distant third at 4%, followed by Liz Cheney with 3% and Mike Pence with 2%. Dr. Michael Binder with UNF's Public Opinion Research Lab is joining us live this morning. You and your team did this survey. First of all, I want to ask you, how was this survey conducted? How did you get these results, Doc?
So it was a combination of both online live callers and emails from listed registered voters in the state of Florida. And one thing we try to do is we try to include as many diverse views. We stratify this by geographic areas, so we're not just limited to one part of the state. And then we weight back to the demographics of the voter file. So we feel it's a pretty good representation. But again, this is registered voters. And as we all know, primary voters are often a little different than the registered voter population.
Right. And polls may or may not predict the actual results right here. But I do want to ask you, with what you have right now, are you surprised at all by these results?
He's not so much, right? It's Florida. It's DeSantis' home state. He's got a lot of momentum behind him. I think the one interesting tidbit about this is not necessarily that he's up by 25 in the race when you put 10 people. But if we knock it down and we just do a head-to-head, which was the follow-up question in this survey, he was up by 31%. So he's consolidating a little bit of the non-Trump DeSantis vote. He's doing a little better at pulling in those voters, which kind of leads into the narrative about maybe the more candidates, the better for Donald Trump.
Yeah, and it's also interesting because this is in the state of Florida where DeSantis is the governor. Trump is also a resident here, but it would be interesting to see what it would do in Arizona, in Nevada, in Virginia, states like that.
Yeah, very different nationally.
Okay, so besides Trump versus DeSantis, people surveyed also weighed in on a number of topics, including several proposals promoted by the governor. Despite elevated support among Republicans, many voters were not thrilled about a push to prohibit public colleges and universities from supporting programs that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as critical race theory. What did you find there?
Yeah, that was something that obviously is almost a centerpiece of the governor's upcoming presidential campaign. 35% supported it, but 61 opposed it. Those are pretty big numbers. And what was interesting is, yeah, obviously Democrats are much more opposed, but even Republicans were 38% opposed, but 56% support. And I think if you're looking at why he might be supporting policies that aren't necessarily popular statewide, he's looking at a very particular part of the base and who shows up in Republican primaries and there's support there.
Yeah, good point there. So another recent bill that would allow Floridians to carry a concealed weapon without a permit or a license also received strong opposition, which might be surprising for many people.
Yeah, this was, whenever I talk to somebody, and I'm like, wow, what surprised you? And I'm like, this one surprised me. 77% opposition, but 67% of that is strongly opposed. And this isn't just Democrats or NPAs, which they're very opposed to it, but even Republicans are opposed. You know, a majority of Republicans, 62%, that's a big number of opposition. And I imagine it's probably because of the way the question, we indicated that, there's no requirement to go through any state testing or permitting process, which is what the bill allows for. And I think folks maybe are in favor of a little bit more of some sensible gun regulations just to reduce the amount of guns on the street, even though by and large folks tend to be pro Second Amendment.
Yeah, very interesting to see these results. Dr. Binder, I know that you're going to be working on the next survey to bring us the next poll results as we get closer to election 2024. And there are so many issues that our viewers and these constituents want to know about. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks for having me this morning, Vic.
And we will have the full results of the poll on our website, news4jax.com. You can go right there, learn more about the UNF research. We have already posted it, so it's just a couple clicks away for you.